The day is June 22nd here. This is our milo crop we have. Cultivating, running a John Deere 845 row crop cultivator on it. Running a cultivator across it due to we planted the milo, and it's basically got about 2/10 of an inch of rain since we planted it, so we're starting to get some grass coming through it. So trying to run a cultivator through it to get it knocked out. I'm gonna have to quit. I just did start about 40 minutes ago. Gonna have to quit, let it get some more height. Just where the bigger clods of dirt are, it's just throwing them up on the plant and knocking the plant over. I mean, I'm running about 3 miles an hour right now, and I went down to 2.5, and there's just some mighty big dirt clods from that cultivator pass we had that just aren't mellowed out. Haven't got a rain on them since hardly, but about 2/10, so the chemical didn't work basically. Same with about 3/4 of our bean acres, or 60% of our bean acres as well. The pre never did work either. So we're kind of slowly fighting the no rain. Slight chance of rain today, as it looks like outside, which they basically weren't calling for anything hardly. I mean, it's basically all disappeared pretty well, I think. Slight chance over the weekend. Not a good shot at all, really, for any good general rainfall. Staying hot the rest of this week, and I think I saw Monday's highs like 82, 79, somewhere in there. So we'll have 2 days of cooler weather coming up, or 2 or 3. Still really no good rainfall coming. Showing dry. We're mowing some waterways that we usually can't mow till the middle of July. Our first pass, and heck, we're mowing them right along just fine, not having no issues. Just hoping for a rain shower, but hoping cultivating ain't the wrong thing to do. If we ever do get a rain, the grass and weeds may come in strong, but fertilizer and seed and chemical place that you got to cultivate and try and get that grass knocked out now. Not what I want, but I'm going to try and find some 7-inch sweeps. I think we have some, but I'm not exactly positive. We haven't ran the 7-inch sweeps on our cultivator, and we bought this cultivator in 10 years ago, and we cultivated a bunch. Well, all we run now is 1-inch spikes, just trying to get a little bit of air into the crops. So we're not really ever going after the weeds. So I think we thought we had some in the somewhere around, so I'm going to hopefully find some of them and slap them on for next time. But rode across this Sunday, and it was only about V2, really V3. So I mean, it is growing. I painted 2 corn stalks yesterday, so I'm anxious to see what they show they're growing. I'm going to come up here and paint a few of these milo stalks out of curiosity. I mean, it is growing more than you think. I mean, there is, looking back here, there is some pretty good amount of moisture really in there. Kind of shockingly how much moisture there is. A lot of that dead grass you see is stuff we burnt down with moxon before we worked it, so kind of fighting it as well. I mean, it's not messing me up, it's kind of knocking on the plant some, so I'm not really too keen on it, but I mean, it's working. But another two or three leaves in this milo would help a bunch. It's probably not going to get there for a while, probably. Don't really know. Using field view, but also using the RTK as well. I'm nudging it back and forth some, trying to stay in that middle of the row quite well, trying to just do it more and more, just not trying to hug and take off any roots off, but it is rooting down pretty darn good. I mean, I always say milo loves dry weather, so I mean, we're showing a true testament. I mean, I don't have any corn this stage. You got a neighbor that's got some, and it looks like it's growing too. It was planted that June 6th and 7th. I think it's growing the same. I mean, you don't see it struggling, kind of like some of the taller corn is, which would make sense, but hopefully there's a rain in here sometime. we'll see here. I got a little curvy on my end rows. Had to turn the auto steer off here and turn around. But we'll see what we get. And who knows what we do get? But I mean, it's looking at my phone on the 10-day forecast. It's just not much rain at all in sight anytime out there coming this way, really. I mean, it just looks kind of bleak. There's no really big rainfall coming, I'll say it that way. Hopefully something comes in here sometime and we can kind of get a rain to help this crop out a lot. It would mean a heck of a lot. Kind of like everywhere, we're kind of hurting for water. I mean, not really hurting. The alfalfa that we've cut has grown back a lot more than I ever thought, but I think it's going to start slowing down here real quick with as deep rooted as that crop can be, so we'll see. I got to side dress a little bit of this yet. We're waiting for it to get taller as well, and also debating if it's going to be worth side dressing if it don't rain. I ran 100 pounds of nitrogen down on this in the fall, or 110 pounds, so we'll come back. We're not really sure, but we're going to run a strip here in this better part of this farm. There's about 35 acres that can be pretty darn decent. We're thinking we're probably going to be in that 170, 180 range in nitrogen. Just trying to go for that elusive 200 bushel milo for the sorghum producers contest. I mean, we got time. That'll be wide drop, but I will come in and do some with a 28 bar. I may run 15 gallon, just all depends. We're not really sure what we're going to do on it yet, but I'm going to do the latter part will be wide dropped. I'm going to do with a toolbar, just put it in the ground. I'll run probably 15 at least, probably. I mean, not really sure exactly. We'll know a lot more in a couple of weeks here, but we want to let it grow some more too. We got about all of our corn acres are basically, well, I went around and did all my end rows and try and put the full rate on the liquid, doing my end rows to help the guy out doing the wide dropping. But majority, I mean, 90% of our corn acres still need that third pass of nitrogen down with the wide drop. As of right now, that's kind of in limbo. If we do that, we're kind of hoping it rains to allow us to do that. But if any rate, we'll be 60 pounds shy of our nitrogen on our corn. But if it don't rain, there's no use putting it out there, really. Just being a waste of money. We are spraying some beans, or our co-op is spraying some beans right now. We're not cutting back on any of that yet, since we're making a pass already. We run a 2-pass bean fungicide program. I can't tell you the generic we're using the first pass. Polygon or something. I can't. It's a generic Stratego, I think. Don't quote me. Not positive on that. But then we run a takeoff as well, micronutrient pack. The same thing I ran in furrow on some beans as a trial, but we've been running it post for several years and been seeing some darn good results. The company wanted us to try it in furrow since nobody else really has a fertilizer tank set up for beans in furrow, so they're doing some. They're debating trying to treat some as well on the bean seed as well, but anxious to see that result. Hopefully we see something. Time will tell, but we're running takeoff and ascend and our regular enlist and roundup on our post beans. Hate to cut back on that, but it's basically less than a bushel of beans is paying for it. And I'm thinking the beans might need some good micros right now, so we shall see. But as of right now, we're not cutting back on it, so time will tell. But as of right now, we're not going to cut back on it yet, being we're just needed our post up our beans and all that. But that's all I can think of right now. If we had wheat again, there's some cultivator blight I had just getting started. Lovely. If we had some wheat right now, we'd be getting ready to probably combine some wheat. Don't have any this year due to the wet fall. It's one of them things that happens, no big deal. Kind of like to had some. Wouldn't have got the high price because had some contracts to fill that was much cheaper, but it's one of them things that happens. It was still a good price. We've got it moved to 23 delivery for the mill we're taking to, so no big deal on it. So hopefully we get some wheat planted this fall and go from there. I got a planting video to update. Hopefully get it up done pretty soon. I keep forgetting about it, but I may try and do another videos or row crop cultivating this again in a week or so. We'll just see. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.